Hello, how y'all doing, everyone? This is Douglas Aze. Just wanted to get started on here real quick, but before I do, I want to share some valuable information. I need you to do me a favor. Make sure you share and like this with your family, friends, share on your Facebook page, of course. Let people know that you are watching, and because I want to talk about the 4 C's to wealth building. You need to know this. You need to know what are the 4 C's to wealth building. So please share this on your page. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to share right now on my pages and on your friends page. Make sure you do that because they need to see this. I have a lot of people on my Creating Generational Wealth page, so I'm going to post it on there. So just share and like as well. Let's make sure we do that. Thank you so much. And as you do it, I want to talk about the 4 C's. I know it's Friday. I know you're getting ready to leave your job or whatever you're doing. You're excited, but you know what? You need to understand money, right? You need to still know what's going on with your money, how to build this wealth thing that we always talk about. So I'm going to talk about 4 C's to wealth building. I'm going to show some things that's going to change your life for this few minutes. So one more sharing, I'm doing that. I'm putting that on all my different pages, of course, because I got like 3 different pages here. For those of you that don't know, we got Douglas Aze Foundation page, which is our nonprofit that we use for financial literacy to educate a lot of families on wealth building. So if you could hear me and you could see, make sure you type in the chat box and let me know that you could hear me and you could see what I'm doing, as you know. And please share like this because it's so important. And let me go ahead and get started. Let me share my screen so you could see what I'm have going on here. Let me bring this up. So the 4 C's to wealth building, the 4 C to building wealth. What is that? So I have my list here to talk about. So the 4 C, we have what we call compounding interest. So what does that mean? People talk about compounding interest. So what does that mean? I know some of you are saying me on, I know, yeah, Zoom and Facebook together. Yeah, we're on Facebook Live. So let me go back here real quick. Thank you so much again. I see you. Thank you for joining and watching this. But check this out. What are the 4 C's to building wealth? So the first one is compounding interest. And I call it uninterrupted compounding interest, uninterrupted growth of your money. What does that mean when you hear that? So let's look at that. See, a lot of us go in and we are saving money, right? We're putting money away and we're saving it for our financial future. And what happens? A lot of times, what happens in that situation is this. You go, let me bring up my picture. You're probably familiar about this picture that I always put out. I know you like it, and I know some of you love it. So let me bring up the picture so you can see it well. So what is the first thing we go? Go in and we save money. We put money in our savings account with whoever bank we're banking with, whichever company. What happens? Uninterrupted compounding means this. When you're saving money with your Bank of America bank account, what happens? An emergency comes through and you need to fix your car. You need to pay for your child's college. What do? You go in and you drain your tank. How is that compounding? How is that compounding? How are you compounding your wealth? Hey, Deborah, how are you? Thank you for joining. How is that compounding your wealth? You cannot. So what I teach you to do, this is the first C. You need to have your money in an account that when it sits in that account, you continue to let it grow, and then you could do what? Loan against it. Now, here's what the banks do though. When you have money in a savings account, what they do? They use your future income as collateral to loan your money. That's why so many people are in so much debt, because the amount of interest that you're paying on your debt is lower than the interest in your savings account. That's why a lot of folks are in so much debt. What if the bank, instead of using your cash, your income as collateral, why don't they use your savings account? So that's the second C, collateral capacity. where you can now use your savings account as a collateral to loan money. Now, of course, family, understanding this, using your savings account, again, what's the problem with that? We know the problem is the savings account pays us a low interest rate, and the banks loan us money at a high interest rate. And the banks also do what? They're going to loan you money until your debt is more than the money in your savings account. And then what they do, they go after your future income and use that. That's why so many families are in so much debt. So I don't like that scenario. So when I talk about the product that I have seen that we've built with some of the insurance companies that we use, where we're able to use their money instead of your money to do certain things. So we go to the insurance company and we say, give us your money. And they do that. So this, understanding this, so the first C, like I said, is earning compounding interest. So compounding interest is so powerful. Let's look at this. So I'm going to bring up a situation here. This is what we call your time value of money. So I'm just going to put in a present value. Let me just say let me use a contribution. You're putting away $6,000 a year. That's $500 a month, right? And you're earning, let's just put a small interest rate on here, 4%. Now in your mind, you're like 4%, but that's cool. We're going to use that. But let's see the power of this money. And we're going to use 60 months, 5 years, right? So you're going to contribute this every year for 5 years. So, let's do 5 years. That's $6,000 is now $33,000. That's a lot of money now that you have in your account. $33,000. I hope you could see it. 33, let me make this a little bit smaller. Yeah, you could see it, 33,797. Okay, that's your money that is sitting there. Now, how about 10 years? See, that's 74,000. That's somebody saving $6,000 a year. So when I bring back my other picture, this guy here, in this savings account that we're talking about, now you have your money growing. But what do most people do? They go in because, first of all, the banks are not paying you this amount of interest. The banks are ripping you off. They're taking your money and spending it. So remember, you need this money growing. You don't ever want to touch it. 20 years, that's $185,000 of your money growing. So that's the compounding interest. And then you use it as collateral. The third C is cost, opportunity cost. What do we mean by that? Well, what opportunity cost means is, if I took my money, my $6,000, and I spent it, I reduced the amount that I was contributing. So what happens? We go in and we used to contribute $6,000 into our savings account. And what happens? Because now the banks are so, remember, you gotta pay taxes, right? Always, we don't forget taxes. Because the banks are so slick, because they loaned you money, and this time, we won't just use your income. So because of that, you're like, man, I can't save. I owe the bank money. What do? You stop paying the bank money and you stop saving money. See, when you stop saving, or you now split it in half, because now you say, okay, I'll have 3,000 going here, and I'll have 3,000 going in here, right? So you just split your wealth over to the banks. So what does that do to you? So let's look at what that means. That means now you're only saving $3,000. So if I bring this back down to $3,000, look at what that does. Your wealth just reduced from $6,000 that you were giving away to, from $185,000. Now we're at $92,000. See that? You just lost over $100,000 by making this mistake. But we don't look at it that way. We never look at it this way. We always think, oh, I'm just going to do it for a couple of years. But you're losing the power of the money, the power that money could be making for you. By, instead of you spending it, you invested it. So always remember, when it comes to money expenses, think about it. For every dollar you could have saved, imagine how much you'll be worth. That's what we call opportunity cost. So when you're thinking about spending money or putting a down payment on something, think about, what would this cost me? That's opportunity cost. So now let's go in here. The fourth one is control of your money. This is the best part. I love controlling my money. So what do we mean by that? Well, I want to be in a position where when I put my money in this account, I have full control. If you notice, there's no taxes on that money because the IRS can't touch it. See, a lot of you have money in a savings account, right? What happens? When you have money in a savings account, this is what the IRS do. They come to your money. They say, okay, you have this money. Every time you make a profit, let me change this back. Every time you make a profit, what they do, they take your money, let me see, and you earn interest. So first off, what happens? Let's break it down for you. This is why I don't like stuff like this. So here's what happens. They break it down. You make income, right? You go make your income. You contribute. Some of you that put money in the 401k, you put it in that risky account. And then the rest of the money flows this way. You pay taxes again to the IRS. And then the rest, you say, man, I need to save money. And you save the money and you put it into this tank. Every time now remember, you've already paid taxes here, right? Now the money you're paying should not be tax-free, which it is, but the only problem is you've put it into this tank in your bank account. Every time you go ahead and you make a profit, what happens? They take taxes out, and then you got to pay it with your new money. And then you grow it a little bit again, but you got to pay taxes on it. So there's really no control. So my world, I like to put my money inside a properly structured contract that allows my money to be safe and there's no taxes on it. I don't ever have to worry about any tax bill. See that? Doesn't matter. There's no taxes. The IRS have no power on it. They can't touch the money in my account. It's safe, it's protected, it's there. They can't tax the interest on it. They can't do any of that. See, a lot of people don't realize the banking institution, these banks, the insurance company, they are a bank, just like Bank of America, Chase, all those. Insurance companies are banks too, but they just call themselves insurance company. But you don't look at them as a bank. You look at them as an insurance company. So guess what you do? You say, oh, they only exist to do what? Pay if I die, that's what they aim for. And some of you don't even have policies that have cash value. You just have policies that have death benefit. And that's it. Only pays when you die. Not knowing that you could have a life insurance policy that has cash value inside of it that you could now use. Some of you that are real estate investors, if you want to buy a house, guess what you do? You could say to the insurance company, I want to buy this beautiful house. I found it in Baltimore. I'm using Baltimore, Maryland, because there's a lot of cheap houses there, right? You want to flip. You go to the insurance company and you borrow against your money to buy that property. And you pay cash for it. But you didn't use your money. Use the bank's, the insurance company's money. And then guess what? You have a free and clear house. And then all the equity in that house belongs to you. You could sell it and pull your cash out. And guess what? Then you pay, after you sell it, you pay back the insurance company. Guess what? This doesn't show up on your credit report. It doesn't show up on your credit report. Remember, you are in control of your cash. That's the key. So I just want to do that real quick. I know a lot of you, wanted me to do that. So I wanted to do the 4 C's to wealth building, control, compounding interest, collateral capacity, and cost, opportunity cost. Hey, Joseph, thank you for from Malawi. Man, that is phenomenal. I salute you, brother, all the way, my African brother, all the way from Malawi. Man, thank you for joining, man. I appreciate you, brother. Joseph Skiver. And where should we put the money? Yes, I just said Deborah, awesome, in a life insurance contract. But listen, not just any type of life insurance contract, Deborah, a properly structured contract. Send me an inbox message and I could help you go through the process and help you find the money, because the key is finding the money to put into that stuff. See, a lot of times we don't know how much money we have laying around because nobody's telling us that. See, the government, I want to do one more thing. Actually, let me share my screen, and I got to go after this because I have a customer waiting for me. But check this out. Let me do one more. I want to show you all something because this is so important. This is how some of us don't realize how much money we have going away from our hands. So here's a 42-year-old guy, right? He makes over six-figure income. And this guy right here, let's say he has $88,000 in his current savings account. And I'm going to use a rate of return. I'll use the same 4% interest rate, just 4. I don't like showing too much 4. So we're going to look at it, and he has savings 88,000 everywhere, getting a 3% rate of return. Raise. Every year he gets a raise. His income potential. So this is what happens. This is what at age 65, he's going to have about 3.3 million is going to pass through his hands. That's a lot of money that's going to pass through his hands. $3.3 million. Imagine this. If your company said to you, we're just going to write you a check today for $3.3 million. What are you going to do with all that money? A lot of you probably say, type it in the chat box for me. Say, what would you do with that money? Some of you will invest it, right? You invest the money. All right, cool. Awesome. But unfortunately, we can't do it, right? But if you invested every dollar of that at a 4% rate of return, your wealth potential is $5.4 million. That's a lot of money that's passed through your hand from age 42 to 65. This is a person making $102,000 a year. But now check this out. But you don't see all that because what happens? Your job is not going to pay you all that money all at once. What do? They give it to you little by little. They pay it to you little by little through monthly cash flow. They give it to you 102,000, but they give it to you little bit every 2 weeks. And it's not that much. You don't like that. You like, well, that's so little money. Now, here's what the value of that money looks like. Let me show you the value of it. So now this is what the banks are doing. This is why that's why I don't like the banks and the government. They just trick you and take your money. See, a lot of you don't realize how much taxes you're paying out of pocket. For every dollar you earn, 40 cents of that dollar is going to go towards taxes. So let me put that in there. 40 cents. That's 40% of your income is going to taxes. I know you might like, what is that? How? I don't know. 40 cents, 40%? That's not true. I used to think that until I realized, wait, when they tax me on water, when I drink water, I was going to look for a bottle of water, you pay taxes. When you eat food, you pay taxes. You get your income, you pay taxes. State, federal tax, utility, light tax, everything. We've been taxed so much. So they take 40 cents. So now look at what the values. You just took your money and you transferred it to somebody else. So look at what happens. Boom. That's $2 million that just went to the government, gone in taxes. $2 million. Then the next thing is debt services. Now you have another money that goes to credit card, financing a car, mortgage, interest, all those interests that you don't even think about that leaves your hand. That's another 34% that goes to that. Check this out. Boom. Calculate it out. That's $3.8 million of your wealth that is gone to somebody else. And then you're left with 23% to enjoy yourself, to go out with your children. Like tomorrow, I'm going to be doing daddy fun times with my children, with my daughters tomorrow. Whatever that is, they created that and they told me that's what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be doing that. But guess what? I'm going to spend some money because they're little girls. We're going to spend some money. So that's a lot of money that goes away from the pocket in lifestyle. Now, here's the problem. Some financial advisors are going to say to you, you need to minimize your lifestyle. And they say you need to cut down your lifestyle so you could do what? Save more money. But you work for your money. You work hard. Why do you need to minimize your lifestyle? They say, well, you need to cut your lifestyle down to 5% so you could save more money. And they do that to you. But look at where it took your wealth to $373,000. Look at your spent, you still lost $5 million. This is what financial advisors are doing to you. They tell you to cut your cable. They may tell you to start eating ramen noodles. They tell you to do all this stuff, people. Why are you listening to these crazy people? That's crazy. They're not addressing these people. See these thieves right here, the red and the gold? These people, they're not telling you to cut them. I'm going to show you how we minimize those things because I don't want you to cut down your lifestyle. I want you to enjoy your lifestyle. So why don't I put this back to 23% and bring this down? But here's where I go. This is what I do. I go in here and I help you find a way to minimize the amount of taxes that you're paying to the government, especially if you're a business owner. Now, some of you that are W-2 income, there's also ways. I have the secret. I know it. I know how to do it. But check this out. What if I bring it down to 20%? Boom. Look at your savings went up. We just increased it. Now we are 1.4 million. What about debt? If I could get rid of all those credit cards, get rid of all those mortgages, pay everything, show you how to do it, using somebody else's money to do it, where you still stay wealthy. What if we could bring this guy down and get rid of all your debt and make you debt free, which is what we teach, and put this to 0? That's the key. Check this out. Boom, 57% going to your wealth, your money, people. Look at that. You are now wealthy. See that? Get you out of debt and build wealth. That's what we teach. It's all about the science, folks. It's common sense, but we teach it. My guys and ladies that work with me understand the system. Folks, we can help you. So get your money right. Get your future right. Remember this. There's the 4 C's to wealth: control, cost, opportunity cost, collateral capacity, and compounding interest. Your money got to keep growing. See the green? Always growing. That's wealth building 101. So let me see if you have any question for me. Again, share, like, share, like, share, like. People need to know this. They cannot keep complaining that they do not understand money. There shouldn't be any human being in America that should be broke, especially if they're learning our system of being debt-free. See, we didn't get rid of taxes because we're going to pay taxes till we die, right? That's okay, but we just need to give them just a little bit. Just a little bit. But we need to get rid of debt. Debt needs to go, but we do it in a systematic way, not using your money. We use somebody else's money. So folks, I just want to thank you. I got a 2 o'clock. I'm running late. I need to go take care of this client. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for joining. Those of you on Facebook, thank you. Those of you on YouTube, thank you for joining. Share, like it, and let's keep making it work. Have a great Friday. Enjoy your weekend, because I'm going to enjoy mine. Enjoy yours too. All right. Thank you. Thanks, Diane Tyre. Thank you. Charlene Day. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you. Awesome, people. Thank you so much. Appreciate you all. I got to go.